Morning, everybody, or afternoon or evening, whenever you get to read this. This is my third story for all you lovely little monkeys from Wanaka Primary School, or anyone else that wants to listen to these online. Some children will be back at school today, just a few of essential workers, because their parents are doing a wonderful job helping us through this tough time. And some mums and dads have had to go back to work, so this will be good for them too, because they'll be at school, but the library will be shut. So this is my third book, the story of the little mole who knew it was none of his business. This was my children's favourite book when they were very little. So hopefully I'll do a better job of videoing this today, because the other day I think I was a bit too far back, but it's actually quite difficult. Okay, here we go. One day, the little mole poked his head out from underground to see whether the sun had already risen. That's when it happened. Do you have any idea what that is, falling out of the sky? I think you do. It looked a little bit like a sausage, and the worst thing was that it landed right on his head. Do you think it's a sausage? How mean, cried the little mole. Who has done this to my head? But he was so short-sighted that he couldn't see anyone around. You would think that he would smell it, wouldn't you? Did you do this on my head? He asked the dove who was flying past. Me? How could I? I do it like this, she answered. Oh, can you see that? And splish, splish, a moist white blob landed on the ground right next to the little mole. His right leg was splashed with white. How disgusting. Put your hand up if you've been pooed on by a bird before. Did you do this on my head? He asked the horse who was grazing in the pasture. Now, if a horse pooed on your head, do you think it would be more noticeable than what's on the head right now of the mole? I'm thinking it would. Me? How could I? I do it like this. And flump, plump, 5 big fat horsey apples plopped down within a hair's breadth of the mole. He was very impressed. I think I'd be very impressed if that was happening right next door to me. Did you do this on my head? He asked the hare. Me? How could I? I do it like this, answered the hare. And rat-a-tat-tat, flippity little round, I can't read that, beans shot past the mole's ears. He saved himself with a daring leap. I need to put my glasses on because I can't read it. Did you do this to my head? He asked the goat, who had been dreaming a little. Me? How could I? I do it like this, he replied. And plippity-plop, a pile of toffee-coloured little balls tumbled on the grass. The little mole found them almost appealing. That is disgusting. Did you do this on my head? He asked the cow who was chewing the cud. Me? How could I do this? I do it like this. And kaplosh, a big brownish green pancake flopped into the grass just next to the mole. He was very relieved that it hadn't been the cow who had done this on his head. Otherwise, I think it would have gone all down his face. Now, I just have to tell you a little thing about cow poos. You know, when you go walk through a paddock where there's been cows and you see a big pancake like cow poo and they're all hard. Do you know, when I was a wee girl, I used to like stepping over those in my crackerjack gumboots. And when I put my foot on it, it would all go squishy and squirm over the sides. Anyway, don't tell your mums and dads I said that, will you? Did you do this on my head? He asks the pig. Me? How could I do it like this? Replied the pig. And plop, splat, a little soft brown pile fell on the grass. The mole held his nose. I'm surprised the mole hasn't been holding his nose the whole way through this book, personally. Did you do this on me? On my, he was going to ask again. But as he came closer, he saw only two big fat black flies, and they were eating. At last, someone who will be able to help me. Who did this on my head? He asked excitedly. Keep nice and still, buzzed the flies. There was a short pause. And it is clear to us that it was a dog. Now, why do you think the flies know so much about poos? We think about that. Finally, the little mole knew who had done the business on his head. Basil, the butcher's dog. Quick as a flash, he climbed onto Basil's kennel, and pling, a tiny black sausage landed right on the top of Basil's head. What's the little mole done? Satisfied at last, the little mole disappeared happily into his hole under the ground. That was the end. That was the end. He's happy with his business and now he's gone. Crikey, that wasn't the ending I was expecting. I haven't read it for such a long time that I forgot that was the ending. What did you think of that? Eh? So, the story of the little mole. So when we get back to school, you'll have to remind me to read these to you when you come in with your class. Now, I've got another one lined up to do right now, so you keep an eye out with the links that the teachers share you to read these stories. And if you want to email me and tell me what you're doing with your time at home, apart from your schoolwork, I'll get the teachers to put the link to my email at the end of the video. Okay, I hope you're all well. See you soon. Bye.